So yeah, another thing that some people complain about this game is the fact that why this game is so mixed bag, is that some of these mini games, despite the fact that they are still fun to play through, but also able to feature some of the, some of the worst mini games they're able to come across into, which, we'll talk more about that whenever we're able to see more dual mini games has to offer. So either way though, because chances are, there's gonna be quite a few, random luck-based mini-games throughout the entire package, which, we'll talk more about that soon enough, so... And I believe we're now on to the halfway point in terms of, Toy Dream, so either way though, and it looks like that Wario, he's gonna be using his duel capsule, and I'm guessing he's trying to duel against me. Like, I would say, 50 coins and just my star, so, if that's to be the case, then, yeah, basically he's gonna cost me a star and 50 coins to himself. So, hopefully I might as well try to win this duel game somehow. In this case, we are playing Sky Survivor. I'm alright with this minigame, certainly a lot more better than button mashers or something, so avoid the obstacles flying at you while riding on unique flying machines. So basically, all you have to do is basically dodge those spiky balls, and that's all you have to do here. I believe you only get hit like 5 times or something, so but anyway, let's get to it. So something's worth noting for is the fact that some of these voice clips in they managed to obviously make it return ever since in Mario Party 4. At least specifically for Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, and Daisy, and Waluigi, and also same applies to Donkey Kong as well, or DK for short. And obviously except for Toad, Boo, Boo is practically the same, and Mini Bowser also remains the same, except, well, the fact of the matter is though is that Toad's voice is actually a lot different than Mario Party 4. At least in terms of voice clips wise, so yeah, this minigame can be pretty chaotic and also hectic at the same time, because you have to dodge, a lot of spike balls, especially at the end. But since Wario's lost, that means I'll get 50 more coins and I got my star back. So, yeah, I guess that makes it pretty obvious for that specific condition, so... Anyway, so... Oh yeah, another thing's worth noting for is the fact that, talking of which though actually, is the fact that, usually relatively speaking, is the fact that unlike in, Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7, that, they'll obviously bring back, it's kinda hard to explain, because even then though it has been, quite a few days since actually coming back into Mario Party of all things, even though despite the fact that I was busy playing some Zelda stuff every once in a while, including Breath of the Wild, because everyone's expecting that, it's about time to able to have, a specific more infos on, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel on Nintendo Switch or something. Well, at least that might become true for the sake of time, so... Big Top Drop. Another new minigame we are playing. So let's see here. One player swings on a swing and drops balls on the other 3, who just dodge the balls while walking on a tightrope. So basically, since I'm in a team of 3, I'm gonna have to avoid those, colorful balls what Wario's gonna toss. So, not that difficult of the minigame though, but you can also just manage to able to, jump in midair, and then you can able to... try to get a bit more further from that, which, even then, we'll show it off whenever we're able to try to dodge them, so, there's not much else I can say in terms of the forms of how Mario Party 5 plays out to be, even though despite the fact that I think most, criticism they're able to actually put up with is the fact that maybe because of the forms of Hudson Soft might actually feel a bit slightly lazier compared to the forms of how it does it back in the day in Mario Party, N64 era, and a little bit on Mario Party 4, well at least in terms of board design. But I will admit though, one thing I'll give Mario Party 4 some credit for is the fact that they obviously managed to contain some very creative minigames, even some of the best ones, like Book Squirm and Dungeon Duos and Bob-omb Breakers and stuff like that. While don't get me wrong, that there are some really good minigames for sure in this game, but there are some all for the worst, mainly with one of them in, well, quite a few worse minigames they'll obviously include due to luck-based minigames. Like, I believe they're about, well, let's just say, I actually have no comment on it, just because, well, it has been a long time since I actually did manage to able to play this from time to time. So, I believe it could be stuffed up as, like, 3 dual minigames that are considerably luck-based, and then one of them from the Bowser minigames variety, and also one of them from 4-player minigames, and also one of them in the battle minigames, which is basically, it's like a sequel to, well, let's just say Day of the Races from Mario Party 2, which we'll get to more about it, and so whenever we show those minigames off. And the fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that, talking of which of those battle minigames for surely, differently from the likes of Mario Party 2, 3, and 4, that the battle spaces is nowhere to be found, because in order to play battle minigames, specifically in this game, alongside with Mario Party 6, and as well as Mario Party 7, and Mario Party 8, that it's all predetermined by random, whenever you're able to actually come across into, like, it's always going to be a 4-player minigame category when a minigame begins, and, as a result, it's like a 50-50 chance, in particular for, you know, 4-player minigame or the battle minigame, if depending on random involves. So, but yeah, that's something's worth noting about. So, in the next star space is... Really? In the exact same place again? Gee, no wonder why they always love that spot so much. Which, I have no idea what I'm supposed to say right here, but anyway, 1 versus 3 time. In which minigame are we going to be playing? Curvy Curbs. We were originally going to be able to expecting Squared Away, but either way though, not now though. Guide your one-wheeled cart and its trailer along the pathway. The first one to the finish wins. So, since I'm on a team of 1, this meaning about the fact that the team of 1 is actually a lot easier here than the team of 3, because in the team of 3, they obviously need to cooperate and all that stuff, and then try to able to jiggle along a little bit, whilst in a team of 1, you can just simply well, try to able to do it no problem, without even come across into, like, so many crashes, so... Yeah, it's not too difficult on this minigame, honestly, even though the only time it's incredibly difficult is just, basically a team of 3, so, yeah, not much to say about this, honestly. It's just the fact that you just go for a little curvy curves and all that stuff, though. And I'm pretty sure you're able to bypass through, 4 gates in particular. So, even I know that might be some conception. Ah, jeez. Come on. Come on. There we go. At least I did manage to win this. And by the way, if both teams manage to able to go across the finish line at the same time, basically they'll just end up with a draw instead. So that's something worth keeping in mind. So 3 stars and 208 coins, if I recall correctly, because either way though, even though despite the fact that I wasn't paying attention, yeah, 208 coins so far. So looking good so far, especially noticeable that, well, obviously, since I'm still on the coin star lead at the moment, so at least we can able to actually get ourselves a whole bunch of more stars towards the end of the game, so... Oh, sweet, I got a 10. A glorious 10 indeed. So, let's see what capsule I might get. I got the Mr. Blizzard Capsule. What that does, though, is the fact that if you try to use it by yourself, or if you try to able to place stats in any spaces, and if someone lands on it, what that affects is the fact that you lose all of your capsules if you manage to able to get flattened by Mr. Blizzard. So, yeah, that's something worth keeping in mind. So... And it looks like Wario gets lucky because he lands on not only the red space, well, despite the fact that he will lose coins, but also he gets 25 coins from the Koopa Bank space. So that seems a little bit more luckiness involved, which I have no words to say here. So, alright, so it looks like Peach is going to use herself the Paratrooper Capsule. Why? Because I'm pretty sure she's gonna screw us up, so... But how much coins specifically? Oh, jeez, 15 coins! Well, that's gonna be a nuisance, even especially noticeable for my case, and even Wario's case, because in Wario, that basically he got very lucky with the actual, the Koopa Bank space, as far as I already mentioned this earlier, but, it's kind of a shame that most, computer players manage to know specific strategies and all that stuff. Even though the only thing is worth noting for is the fact that you don't get coins being received by Koopa Troopa, so you just get nothing, which is pretty pointless if you ask me. So, it looks like Peach is almost nearly at the actual, the next star at the moment, so it looks like that she's probably gonna catch up to me, even though she hasn't got that much coins compared to me, so, yeah, I wasn't able to noticing that. Right, fight cards. This one might actually be interesting to say the least, so let's see what this plays out. Attack your opponents by showing various attack signs. If the same signs are raised, the solo player wins. So basically it's the fact that you can't afford to able to get the same signs because otherwise you'll be out. So, not too crazy with this minigame honestly, aside from the fact that, well, it can be a little bit luck-based at times, even if you're trying to face off against with the computer player and stuff. So at least I'll try my best. Ah, dang it, we both are out. Me and Peach. Alright, come on, Mini Bowser. Okay, so good thing you defend yourselves there. Alright, so let's see. Looking good so far. It gets a bit tough though in round 4 and 5 though. Ah, dang it! Dang it, Mini Bowser, why did you have to lose? Ah, oh well, whatever. No big deal, especially noticeable I'm still in the lead of the coin star and the minigame star accordingly, because obviously I win several minigames, and even especially with like, I don't know if the DK minigames does count for the minigame star count, but we'll see. Alright, so Mini Bowser gets a 4, and it looks like that he's probably gonna get the Spiny Capsule. What that does is that if you use it by yourself, basically you'll end up with the forms of the actual roulette thing, and then basically, depending if the actual arrows usually points at someone, basically you're able to receive coins, or, well, I'm pretty sure you receive coins if you manage to able to, like, take 10 coins from your opponents, so, yeah, I think that's something's worth classifying for such. Since I'm gonna land on the blue space if I go to the right, but if I go straight on, this meaning I can able to actually land on a happening space over there, right where the Mecha Bowser was. So, and plus because of this though, since that Peach is almost there to the star, my prediction is the fact that my predictions anyway, that I'm hoping that the next star space will be right next to the first train station from the bottom, so that's my specific plan. But here's the thing though, if Peach gets like the higher roll, or Mini Bowser gets the higher roll, then basically they'll just get the star instead, or even Wario, that he was pretty much gonna follow me the whole way through. But usually that's how dice roll luck elements usually comes in. Oh yeah, another thing is worth noting for anyway, is the fact that technically this game does contain a remake of this game, but it only exists in Japan by the forms of the arcade machines, and that's usually something involves around Gamble Fest kind of stuff, which I don't know what these actual names are, even though I'll pretty much gonna have to research on it whenever we get on to the next board, but what I've noticed is that the Japanese exclusive Mario Party games in the past, to be more specifically based off from this game, Mario Party 5. Oh, yeah! The next star is going to be right next to that, the train station as far as I see. Awesome luck there. So anyway, and I do apologize if there's any, no sound cues in the actual transition with the actual star moving spot. I'm pretty sure it's because that's exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes my GameCube sometimes managed to able to didn't read all these stuff very well, so I know it's likely a really old system, but Either way though, I'm gonna have to work this out at some point. So, flower shower. Collect the flowers before they disappear. Whoever catches the most wins. This minigame is pretty fun though. Basically, you can able to actually catch the flowers, and then that's all you have to do here. And if you try to pick up the, well, let's just say the pink ones, that basically just give you 1 point. And then there's also the golden flowers, which I'm presuming those will give you like 3 points, if I recall correctly. Even though we'll see what happens as soon as I'm able to pick one of them up. So yeah, it's 3 points. So in fact, kind of think about it though, this minigame does remind me of Piranha Patch minigame from the likes of Mario Party 9, except the fact that, well, you can able to now jump in this, as opposed to the ones in Mario Party 9, that you can't jump at all, because you're obviously going to move around, and that's pretty much how that goes. So, yeah, this minigame's kind of fun, especially noticeable that usually takes place in the, let's just say the back garden of, well, I would say the front, almost like a front entrance portion of, well, the wedding proposal. So, I guess that makes it a little bit of a cool environment, in theory. So, either way, though, that's as far as you can probably imagine about that. So, yeah, anyway, now let's move on to turn 15, which, basically, we've almost done with this. So, either way, though, and, yeah, much like the forms of our Mario Party 4 Let's Play, sometimes the actual board gameplay might take a bit too long, mainly because of more events and stuff like that. In addition to that, there's going to be quite a few load times here and there, so, you know, just like in Mario Party 4. Oh, speaking of a devil, we have the first Bowser space in Mario Party 5. Oh boy, what do we have here? Well, this time around though, Bowser just dives straight in, as soon as when someone lands on it, so let's see what event would it be. Wait a second. Oh my god, it's DK! Oh man, that is so rare. Just give it a punch, and it looks like Bowser runs off. Although, despite the fact that you're still forced to able to lose 20 coins, so that's the actual catch here. So, yeah, there's gonna be a few rare occasions where sometimes it could be either be a Bowser event, or there was actually a rare event where basically DK managed to able to jump in, and basically if he stumbled across Bowser, he'll able to actually give this one mega punch. And that is actually pretty cool, because I'm pretty sure that some YouTubers out there that seemed able to come across into that already, in specifically one of those boards in Bowser Nightmare. That's usually one of those boards they're able to come across into. And also that, well, again, it's actually pretty rare whenever you're able to actually come across into that event. So, yeah, that seems interesting, all things considered. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And also, as you can see, I've got myself my next star, just because I roll a glorious 10. So, even then, though, that might be seems top-notch, all things considered to be more, well, it has been a while since I actually done a lot of, you know, commentary and stuff like that, and I think that pretty much perfectly describes the forms of Mario Party 5, even though, despite that, most people find this to be the mixed bag in terms of the, well, the hot and soft Mario Party games, even though, despite the fact, though, it does have still have some positives, though, which, we'll talk more about that whenever we get into the forms of, well, the last few extras of how this game offers us, so yeah, that pretty much stops up when it comes to, like, this entire game itself. So, once again, 1 versus 3, and, let's see, are we gonna be playing next? We're playing the same minigame again. And, we were expecting to able to be playing, Quills for Speed, and also Mathletes. And by the way, Mathletes is pretty much a lame bonus minigame, which, we'll talk more about that once we're able to actually see that minigame in action. So, but no, we're gonna go for fight cards again. So, in fact, whenever I managed to able to actually first time I played a game back in like, I would say 2004 or something. Basically, unfortunately, I don't seem to able to actually get all of the mini games during my completionist. Wow. Dang it! Mini Bowser just managed to guess that correctly. Okay, come on, Wario. I know you can win this for sure. Alright, so let's see. Come on. He got very lucky right there. Even especially noticeable that he just got, wow, pretty lucky. That's all I can have to say. Especially noticeable because even then, no, that's just as far as you might think about it. So, oh, please don't tell me my game crashed. Please don't. Okay, thank you. Oh, jeez, that kind of worries me for a moment, because if it crashes, basically I'm gonna have to able to sort out my GameCube problem out, which, I'll definitely fix that at some point. Alright, last 5 turn events. Much like it evolves in the past Mario Party games, that obviously well, this time around though, Bowser's gonna tell us who's in the lead. Like, for instance, I'm in first, Peach was in second, Mini Bowser was in third, and Wario was dead last. And just like in Mario Party 4, basically we're gonna have to deal with the evolves of the last five turns roulette events. And this time it's gonna be completely different. Like, for instance, we have... Oh, really? This is actually probably my least favorite event, which appears to be all the spaces are now turned into capsule spaces, meaning it's now placed everywhere. And also because of this though, this is where things get a lot more chaotic than ever before. So yeah, that pretty much summed up when it comes to that specific event. And of course they'll just aim straight towards me. But again, you lose like 10 coins if you manage to get poked by the Spiny, and then as a result you get 10 coins if you use it. So, well, despite if you're able to use it by yourself, much like the coin block, basically that you spend about 5 coins if you use it by yourself. But if you manage to actually use it, in addition to giving you 5 coins back, it also gives you 5 extra coins. So, yeah, it's nothing right to home about, honestly. So, another thing that's worth noting for as well is the fact that we've only got about, I would say 19 days left until Mario Golf Super Rush for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing in that day. So, in fact, let me know in the comments below if, for the question of the day, are you excited when it comes to the forms of getting yourself Mario Golf Super Rush? Or if not, then you might able to be hyped for something else, most notably with, well, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or, well, the Breath of the Wild sequel, or some upcoming Nintendo Switch titles, specifically Skyward Sword HD, and also some specific unexpected announcements, which, again, we'll probably talk more about that once we get into the actual third board on Mario Party 5, or to be more specifically, when Maxi managed to able to go back into his Let's Play of, well, Wario Land 2. But yeah, that's as far as I can usually summed up as such, so... And as you can tell from my, well, the Super Mushroom that I've used, which is basically it's like the equivalent to the Golden Mushroom, and at the same time Super Mega Mushroom for Mario Party 4, that usually you get like 3 dice blocks, and, well, it plays out pretty much exactly the same as the Golden Mushroom from both Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3, and the Super Mega Mushroom from Mario Party 4, even though that you don't able to actually transform into Mega form of yourself. So, whilst unlike Mario Party 4, then you weren't able to actually become Mega form of yourself. So, yeah, that's as far as I can describe about this. So, and as you can see, I've got myself my mushroom on me, which sounds pretty good. Especially noticeable because even then, although I will have to admit that right away, despite the forms of the capsule system, it might be a little bit too much of a mixed bag for most people. At least even then though, there are some good items, mainly with like mushrooms for instance. And as you can tell, that Mini Bowser got himself the Cursed Mushroom, which basically functions technically the same thing as the Poison Mushroom from the likes of, well, for instance in Mario Party 2, from the likes of, oh, Peach is actually using the Warp Pipe, which, it functions the same way as the forms of Mario Party 4, that you can able to actually just do a roulette thing, and then, if you've done the roulette thing, then you basically warp to someplace else when, well, you're able to switch places, so, and it will continue that tradition until Mario Party 6, so, yeah, that's pretty much something, alright? And it looks like Wario might able to actually get himself screwed, because, either way though, since that, as you can tell, that we actually saw a Bob-Bomb capsule space. Every time when someone managed to able to actually just land on that space, basically the actual time counter will decrease by 1. And if the bomb goes to 0, basically you lose 20 coins. So yeah, you have to avoid that at all costs, because otherwise you might as well able to get screwed. So alright, another 4-player minigame. Let's see what we going to be playing this time. Hydro Stars. This one is actually one of my favorite minigames in this game. Probably is because of the forms of the intense racing going on here. So, steer the boat through all of the gates in number claw order. I do apologize for that pronunciation error. Whoever reaches the actual finish line, yeah, you get the idea. So, whoever reaches the finish line is the winner. So, I do apologize for the actual minigame description errors, just because, well, I just got visually distracted when it comes to the forms of, specific strategies for able to win these specific stuff though. But anyway, let's just go ahead and drive through these little number call order when it comes to the forms of trying to go for these little gates, as you can see. Even though that, you're gonna have to avoid those little box crates, because otherwise if you get hit by those box crates, then you're probably gonna lose your speed. So that's something worth noting about. So yeah, this minigame is pretty awesome, because basically you can able to actually just try to actually just be the fastest as much as you can be. And well, you can also just try to do some sort of like a drifting thing going on by trying to able to brake. But either way though, that's all I can usually try to say about this for the most part. And I've almost beat my previous records, but that's fine, because you know it's about the fact that I've already got myself my first new record in the entire Let's Play so far, being in forms of Will Flower. So yeah, that pretty much summed up is from here. And once again, my sound cues is actually gone, well, mute silent for a moment. I'm guessing because my GameCube is actually getting pretty, well, I'm guessing it's maybe because of how the fact that maybe he can't stand the actual heat wave as much. So I'm guessing it'll be like, oh, this is way too much. This is way too hot for my taste. I'm gonna have to, well, I don't know what I'm really saying for this point right now, but anyway. Well, I don't mind the actual heat weathers and stuff like that, despite it might actually be quite boiling. Especially noticeable about the fact that if you try to able to, well, you know what I mean. Alright, so it looks like that both Mini Bowser and Wario are playing a dual minigame, by the forms of Blown Away. And yes, much like the forms of Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3, that's basically if both players manage to land on the same spot as each other, well, after the forms of the last 5 turn events, basically they're able to compete against each other in a duel minigame. So, and basically it does the same thing. So yeah, there's not much else different from there, in comparison to Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3. So yeah, not much to say for this point right here. But yeah, since that Mini Bowser has now won this particular minigame so far, so this meaning about the fact that he will get double the amount of coins. To be more specifically, like 51 times 2 makes it 102 coins. Jesus Christ, man. They always bet for a lot of coins on this sometimes though, so either way though. But talking of the devil, we have the Bob-Omb here, and basically as I said, you lose 20 coins, and it's kind of funny because even then though, they obviously get double explosion. Like, to be more specifically, both players got exploded by the same Bob-Omb. So yeah, that's actually kind of interesting to say the least. So 9 and 3 makes 12. So it is both from my super mushroom that I've somehow used from my previous turn that I somehow managed to able to grab myself 24 movements, which, by the way, for that 24 number, that will be the exact same number until when it gets to my birthday at some point in October the 11th. So, at least I'm excited for this, because even then though, that's since I've only got myself, well, obviously 4 months time. So even then though, expecting to be hyped until October, despite the fact that we still ended up with this whole, well, thankfully in the UK at least, we've only got about a couple of days left until the actual the lockdown restriction thing might actually start to ease. So at least I'm happy about this, but I really don't know of what's gonna happen next in terms of the forms of well, the next few countries or something like that, like America, as well as the forms of Japan, even though despite the fact that Japan is actually picking up on their sleeves this time around when it comes to game developers and stuff like that, which I'm very grateful for, especially notable because we are, well, still definitely excited to able to see some new announcements and stuff like that. Well, aside from, well, this summer we will obviously we're able to get Mario Golf Super Rush, which I'm super excited about, especially that obviously today's day is of course the 6th of June today, in this case in 2021, so not much else to say for this point right here. And Peach got very lucky because in addition to able to use her own coin block, she also gets another coin block, but this time on the actual capsule event space. So yeah, that's actually kind of lucky for Peach's part. So alright, another 4-player minigame. Let's see how we're going to be playing. Dingo Dopey. And this minigame will definitely make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, by the way. So, swing the baseball bat and hit the pitches from the pitching machine. Whoever hits the most pitches wins. So, basically what you have to do is just basically press the A button at the right timing. And the more you do it, time it correctly, then you get yourself some points. So, my highest record at the moment is 24. So, talking of 24, there you go. So, and obviously the noticeable differences between this and the likes of the Top 100 version is the visual differences, and especially noticeable that, well, obviously this is on the GameCube, not on the 3DS, which reminds me, why can't the Top 100 will be on the Switch instead? I mean, honestly, that back in the day, that I was expecting that would be the case, but nope, they go for the 3DS instead, which is kind of out of place with that specific system choice, even though despite the fact they need able to work on a lot more development time work, especially noticeable that this was supposed to be able to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this pretty cool series, which is the Mario Party series. So, but unfortunately though, it's already too late now, so oh well, no big deal. Especially noticeable that we can still able to play some of these old school titles every once in a while, which is obviously looking great. So, especially noticeable with the forms of the amazing, well, despite Mario Party 1 is a bit not aged very well due to the forms of, well, able to actually just able to have some balance issues, or in some scenarios that some of these minigames, as I mentioned this before, and I believe that some Toy Sales already mentioned about this since, well, August last year, since in Mario Party 1, that basically Defi has already complained about. Some of these minigames in Mario Party 1 usually heavily utilizes the rotating the control stick, like, can really hurt your palm if you manage to do it aggressively, so, but that's how it is when it comes to that. So, last 3 turns, and let's see what Mini Bowser or Koopa Kid, if you lived in America, were able to land on. In this case, you're able to switch with someone else. In this case, for me. Thank you, Mini Bowser, for able to give me an extra boost. Even though, mind you, I don't know exactly what the next start space is going to be at, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be right next to that, specifically the capsule machine, basically. So, yeah, let's place the Bob-Bomb capsule right here, so just in case we weren't able to actually screw up most opponents and stuff like that. So, okay, I've got a 9, so I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but oh no, we have ourselves the worst capsule event ever, right there, right where the star is. Not the actual, the star itself, but the ones with the star icon. This meaning that, yes, chance times are flipping back once again, except the fact that it actually goes back into the exact same way as what Mario Party, well, let's just say most likely Mario Party 3, how it handles. That basically, oh, by the way, that's supposed to be Toadie right there, not Magic Koopa. Even though Hudson himself managed to able to miss translation when it comes to the forms of certain character names, but I can definitely tell you for sure, that's Toadie, not Magic Koopa. Because Magic Koopa was actually the second name for Kamek. Well, technically Magic Koopa's first name was actually in Super Mario World, but then later on in the future, they obviously call him Kamek, which seems a little bit obvious, and it's also one of those regional differences when it comes to the forms of the character, when it comes to likely a playable characters department for Kamek. that basically in North America it is called in Magic Koopa, whilst in the forms of in the PAL territory, in this case the UK/Australians, basically it just always calls him Kemek. So, but either way though, enough about that. And it looks like once again Wario and Mini Bowser are gonna duel against each other, but this time in a different minigame, Bond of Music, and it takes place in the exact same environments too. Which is kind of convenient, because since we actually saw Blown Away, which is basically this environment, like normally all you have to do is just basically you have to be the last one standing wins. Whilst in this particular minigame this time around, you get out to collect the most of those musical note blocks. Whoever able to get the most out of it wins. So, even though despite the fact that this takes place in the exact same arena as each other. So yeah, that's actually interesting, all things considered. So, at least they did something slightly different when it comes to the minigame type, but I have no words to say. Alright, so whoever wins this time. I think my guess it will be Mini Bowser, yeah, because he was actually really good at it. Even though most will feel incredibly bad for Wario now, just because, well, despite he actually did pretty good in the beginning, well, it wasn't until when it gets to the point where basically in some of those duel minigames that sometimes you obviously get screwed. So, specifically for me, from the likes of Sky Survivor minigame, so. And I remember back in the day, even though one thing I totally forgot to mention about this ever since the very beginning, even though it's better late than never routine I suppose, that basically we did manage to done this game back in during the forms of also in 2012, much like Mario Party 4, and just like in Mario Party 4, that back in the day that the quality looks really bad, commentary is way too off, and to top it all off is the fact that, well, ironically, it's the fact that we actually did this game around the same time as when the UK release of Mario Party 9 has came out. So as a result, it might be of a cool coincidence back then, but obviously since this is now 2021, that we actually move on to a much more better quality, and also to top it off, a really good commentary this time around. So yeah, that's something worth noting about, and especially noticeable that, well, I have no words to say about this. Alright, Rain of Fire, a first Bowser minigame in this particular Let's Play so far, so avoid the burning bits of Bowser's fireworks that are raining down. And basically, all you have to do is just try to avoid those fireballs, because if you touch one, you lose. So, and what's even much more better than the likes of how it does in Mario Party 4 in terms of getting the Bowser minigames is that getting the Bowser minigames in this game, along with, well, let's just say Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7, is actually a lot easier to be able to play them this time around. Because unlike Mario Party 4, it's predetermined by random, because in Mario Party 4, that sometimes you can either get Mini Bowser, which is the most common thing, or rare occasions where you get Bowser. So even then though, I'm very glad this was fixed. Especially noticeable that since that Mini Bowser was actually now a playable character, well, not for long though, because you see, specifically for this game, alongside with Mario Party 6, that Mini Bowser will become playable in those two games, but it wasn't until in Mario Party 7 that he will no longer be playable, because he's now working on the Bowser side in that game. So, and also to top it off, well, technically, in the top 100, that technically Mini Bowser also made an appearance, but more accurately a cameo appearance, to be more specifically with those Mario Party box sets. So, yeah, that's something worth to be noting for. Alright, we're going back into this minigame again, but this time I'm now on the team of 3, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of those repeated minigames over and over again every once in a while, but to make things a little bit more quicker and faster, despite the fact that we still need to cope with, you know, the long capsule system. So because of that though, we'll try to cope with it, so. Oh yeah, and also another thing as well, that, you know, remember I said this before, about the fact the matter is though, we did manage to this game back in 2012, and I say this again, that, usually relatively speaking, that, we did manage to able to this game alongside with the actual release of, Mario Party 9 in the UK during the exact same time, and also to top it off, that we no longer have our original Let's Play of this game anymore, just because, well, we just managed to able to get ourselves a much more better quality than ever before. And didn't we get a draw on this? I think we did, because it come to a halt. But, either way though, that's as far as I already explained about this earlier, so, whatever. At least we can still able to actually win this no matter what. Especially, I think I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much dominated for the majority of this board so far. Even though despite the fact that the other 3 players has been, like, doing pretty poor. Most notably with all the, well, the Bowser minigame, and, there are also some different categories, in particularly for, we got ourselves the equivalent to Boo stealing. We have the Chain Chomp stealing. Huh. I'm guessing it's pretty obvious because Boo is now a playable character. So, yeah, the Chain Chomp stealing system functions the same thing as, Boo stealing thing from the likes of... Oh god, I have to tap the A button again. Ugh! Okay, how much coins did I lose then? I'm pretty sure it might be lesser than that. 13. I guess it's okay, because I'm pretty sure I got a lot of coins, so it doesn't matter for me though, so... Yeah. So anyway, what the Chain Chomp can do is the fact that, as I mentioned this before, it functions the same thing as Boo stealing mechanic from the likes of both Mario Party 1, 2, 3, and 4, and basically you can once again steal coins and even steal a star. But here's the differences this time around though, is the fact that, what's this? Oh, sweet! I got myself my super mushroom until at the last turn. So that might be something else in the future, so... Anyway, you're able to actually steal coins, which, just like in Mario Party 1, they can able to actually steal coins for free. And as far as the star is concerned, it's actually a lot cheaper than the forms of how it does it on Mario Party 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because obviously those 4 games usually cost about 50 coins in order to steal a star. And here though, this time around, it actually costs about 30 coins. Which, this is before when Super Mario Party was a thing, and then basically you can able to actually steal a star, from, well, you can able to do a Lakitu stealing, thing for, Super Mario Party, and if you manage able to steal coins for free, also during Super Mario Party as well, and, basically, if you want to steal a star, you have to pay 30 coins in order to steal a star in Super Mario Party, so... Yeah, some similarities managed to able to actually just make things a little bit obvious from this, so... But yeah, that seems a little bit interesting to say the least when it comes to the price amount and stuff like that for that wager, so... And yeah, if you do realize about the fact that my commentary can sometimes cut off, most notably because of the forms of my computer starts to lag, which I do need to be able to fix that at some point, so hopefully that'll be the case. And also that Peach somehow managed to able to miss her chance to get her star just because, you know, she actually lost to that Rain of Fire minigame from the Bowser minigame, so anyway, mazed and confused. So let's see how this minigame plays out to be. Work your way to the star in the middle of the maze. Whoever gets there first wins. So yeah, all you have to do is basically you have to navigate through this maze, and well, sometimes those electrical maze parts can sometimes change around slightly, so just in case it doesn't get... jeez, I got zapped from the very beginning. So you can able to actually speed things up a little bit whilst it starts to keep on changing, but if you're lucky enough, then you would be able to finish this minigame in the fastest time possible. But sometimes though, this minigame can be a bit fun though. Even especially noticeable that you have to figure out where you're supposed to go. So last turn in terms of Toy Dream, and well, we've only just managed to get started with this entire Mario Party 5 game already, so things get a bit quicker later on though, especially noticeable whenever we get onto the later boards in Mario Party 5, and especially noticeable whenever we decide able to show off some extras, to be more specifically with the minigame modes, if we manage to able to actually just to show off some of these minigames that we have not played, for the majority of the Let's Play itself, and even especially noticeable a little bit on story mode, but only for one board, which I'll point it out until whenever we get into that, and also the Super Duel mode, and all the other modes in particular. Oh no, please don't. Okay, good. Oh boy, that was actually pretty close. If you land on that, specifically the Goomba Capsule event space, basically you're able to actually trade coins to us. So, for instance, if he lands on me, basically that our coins exchange will be swapped over. So, you know, it kind of reminds me of those, well, chance time events. So, except the fact that it doesn't feel too much though, I don't think. Uh-oh, we got ourselves my explosion. So farewell to my 20 coins, but that's fine because I still got a lot of coins to able to hold up. So, and of course, like always, since this is the last turn, this meaning that you can't get the capsules from the capsule machine. So, yeah, that's something worth noting about. Might as well go straight on because if we land on here, then we get ourselves the coin block. So, yeah, top notch for my part. Even then, I was expecting if I was gonna land on that chain chomp space, but, I was literally like 3 spaces away from it, so... Oh well, no big deal, but let's see what Warrior's gonna do. Is he going to... Are you kidding me? Are you gonna get rid of that chain chomp space? How lame of you, mister. How lame of you are. Oh jeez, some of these computer players are dumb sometimes, but anyway, but it knows what it is, so... And here's the fonts of the twister space, and basically this functioned the same way as Lucky Lamp from Mario Party 3, and the Chomp Call from the likes of Mario Party 4. Basically, this allows that particular star space is moved. So in this case, oh, he was almost guaranteed to... Oh, wait a second, he doesn't have enough coins. Oh yeah, because of that Rain of Fire minigame that he lost on, so... Oh well. Sucks to be you, Wario. Sucks to be you. But anyway, though. Let's see what Peach's gonna land on. Oh, of course, another Chain Chomp space event. Even though, mind you, that she will steal coins to me, though, so... Which is pretty obvious, because, you know, stealing coins is for free. Although, what if we get on to Mario Party 6? That, the boo stealing thing is back again, but this time around, as in a different color variation, like a pink boo variation. Like, you're able to actually steal coins for 5 coins if you want to pay it, so... Yeah, it kinda does the same thing, so, anyway. Oh, It seems to be more specifically that we keep on playing a lot of 1 vs 3 minigames for this board, even though, mind you, that we've pretty much almost at the halfway point of this selection. So, either way though, we can expect that we can able to actually play a lot of those minigames. In fact, there are about, let's say 75 minigames in total, even though I might have a miscount on it. So, anyway, 2-bit or lose it. One player rides a spiked-lined inner tube down the slope while trying to pop the inner tubes of the other 3 players. And this minigame definitely makes a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100. So... yeah, because believe me, we obviously keep on mentioning about the forms of several minigames returning, until when Mario Party the Top 100 came around, so, yeah, that's as far as I can say about it. Unfortunately, I was out just because I just got cornered easily, but, that's fine by me, because, we still got Wario and Mini Bowser still able to actually just, stay alive and all that stuff, though, which, seems totally obvious. So hopefully, once I'm trying to figure out what's my problem with my GameCube console, thankfully the disc itself works fine enough, hardly any scratches or anything, but it's just the fact that sometimes it just goes like a kind of sound effect going on right there, which I found is a little bit irritating, but I'll try to fix that at some point if we move on to the next board, which I'll talk more about that as soon as we're able to actually go for this little the last results thing, which, yes, much like the forms of the past Mario Party games, that basically once all the turns has been over and done with, then basically the host will able to tell us how much stars we collected throughout the board. In this case, I've got 5 stars, and then Peach got 3 stars, and how much coins that everyone got, even then I've got the most coins. And of course we have the bonus stars, so the minigame star, whoever wins the most minigames by the end wins, like how much coins depending on. In this case, I win. Because I always been pretty good with most minigames, some exceptions, but we'll get into that later. And of course we have the coin star, which as you can see this is on the PAL version of the game. The actual symbol of that icon is a lot different than the American version as well as the Japanese release of the game, which we'll talk more about that once we get into the detailed results. And the happening star goes to 2 happening stars, me and Wario. Wow, it's a bit of a good coincidence, hasn't it? So the winner in the very first board in Mario Party 5 is... Well, if you couldn't tell already, is obviously me. Because I'm pretty sure I pretty much sweeped up the forms of those bonus stars. My first victory in Mario Party 5. How's that for that? Even though I will try my best if I was going to be able to win all the boards in Mario Party 5, but I will try depending on the forms of the capsule event or something like that. But we'll see what happens in the next few weekends later. So, yeah, for that little coin bag, as you see on screen, this is only on the PAL version, whilst compared to the NTSC version, like the Japanese release and the Americans release, obviously it gets like a C icon, so even then I just want to classify for that difference anyway. So, and obviously I managed to use a lot of capsules here, like I used 8 of these things, and, I didn't land on the single Bowser space, even though Peach and Mini Bowser did manage to land on these, even though we actually come across into that, well, a very rare DK punched Bowser and stuff like that, which is top-notch, all things considered, despite it's pretty rare. And also, you can now finally look on the graphs between the stars and coins, so yeah, that's something's new to this. So, yeah, I guess we'll pretty much get things off at this point right here, so join me next weekend for more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5. Instead, we are moving on to our Rainbow Dream. So even then, though, things get a little bit more interesting. So I'll see you guys next Saturday. Later, fellas.